Hey guys, Cindy over paper.old.new. Thanks for coming in and spending some time with me today. We are working on a revisit. This is 61 through 70. We're getting there, guys. I have been filming these like in succession, so way ahead. So by the time you see this, it's going to be weeks after I filmed it. So but today the weather is lovely. It's sunny outside, and yeah. But we are going to look at the first thing on the list, which was quadruple pockets. So they look like this. This one has not been glued together yet, but this is what they look like. And as you can see, if you take a piece of paper, rectangular, if it's not rectangular, you'll get a more, so see how this is a rectangular pocket? If you use a square piece of paper, you're going to get a more square pocket. But you fold these two to the back and one to the middle, and they kind of get progressively bigger, smaller as you fold, so that they layer. And I mean, they're really simple to make once you get the hang of it. So I made a bunch. You could do it with double-sided paper. This is single-sided paper that's been coffee dyed. This is double-sided paper. I made several with double-sided paper. Okay, and then I made these with single-sided paper, and I just inked them. So I inked this one orange, and I inked that one green, and I think that turned out really cute. I like that a lot. So, yeah, you can absolutely make it with single-sided paper. Sorry, I'm stretching out my arms again. Did you guys see what these look like? Here, I'll bring it back over here. I mean, it's not like anything you've never seen. That's what mine look like. This is all double-sided paper. And then I had this one, and what I basically did was, if you take this and you refold it, so the way you're supposed to fold it is like, nope, the way you're supposed to fold it is like, Cindy? I'm not sure I made this one right. How was I? No, that was right the first time. Like that. Yeah. Guys? All right, so you fold it like that. Well, if you take it and you fold this first and fold around, you can make it so that it wraps around a page or gets sewn in, and you've got a double pocket on this side and a single pocket on that side. So these can actually be used in two different ways, and I could really help myself out if I stopped folding this wrong. See? Like that, and then in half like this, and then up like that. It's not hard. And yet, I don't want to talk about it. I like these. I do like them. I usually leave mine open, as you can see here and here and here on these sides. I leave them open, and I only glue this side when I fold it in half. So where's my unfolded one? So when I do this one, I will probably just glue down this side, and that way all of these tucks are open for big things. So that's my way of using them. I would make these as needed. I don't think I would sit and mass make these, only because, as we've had the discussion before, putting a square pocket down on a page and just having it there in the corner, I don't like that. That's too... I feel like the page isn't done if you just stick this down in the corner and you have that whole page there. Now, granted, these will take up a good portion of the page. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 tall, so you got about 3 inches left over here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches left over here. So it takes up most of the page. But like I said, I would most likely make these as needed out of scraps from a project that I'm working on, or out of a matching sheet from a project that I'm working on, and stick them in the book on a page that I wasn't really sure what to do with, or, you know, like that. So I probably wouldn't mass make these. I would make these as I wanted them. This is one I reverse folded on single-sided paper. Okay, enough about that. That was a long talk about nothing. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, the other thing that we did with Tina was these are the envelopes, okay, where you take an envelope and you cover the front of the envelope or the back of the envelope, as the case may be, and you glue it down so that you can still open it. That leaves you the option so that when you close this up and you sew this in or whatever you're going to do, you can open these sides. I don't know if I did it on this one. I did not. You can open these sides and make pockets on your little booklet here. So this is supposed to be a booklet with a corner tuck in the front of it and in the back of it. And then you can put some pages in there. Or you can put journaling space in here and it can just be a flippy journaling space thing. If you'll remember, I still have some of these in, this one still needs its flap covered. I don't mind these. I would probably make them more as needed than I would mass make them, only because I would have to look at it and go, I want a booklet. What kind of booklet do I want to make? I want to make this booklet. And then I would get an envelope and I would cover it with scraps that I had from the project. That would be how I would make these because I like them. I think they're neat. But as you can see, I also cut them in half. So I had a whole bunch of these made when I did them for Tina's Mass Make. But if you remember correctly, when we were doing our clean out, the first couple of clean out videos, I pulled down drawers of ephemera and went through the ephemera and decided stuff to keep, stuff to get rid of, stuff to alter. I altered these. So I cut them up the middle and then we did a fold over gluing thing so that you got the pocket since the pocket is so small. And then we just made a little pocket out of it. Now, you could still have kept the end of the envelope open, but I turned these into little pockets. So this would be an as-needed project as well. I think I marked this on the wrong line because I got off kilter with my what was what, and I marked the wrong line. Anyway, okay. These. Okay, I like the ones I made. These are really easy once you learn how to fold them. They're not difficult pockets at all. I made several of these. I made them out of double-sided paper, so as you can see, you get to see both sides of the paper. I probably won't make these. And the only reason I say that is because there are so many other pockets out there that are easier to do. And these ones, I had to cut a lot of paper away so that there wasn't a lot of bulk. If you go back and watch my video, I'll explain how I did it and why I did it. But it's for use of thicker papers because I think Tina used like page thickness paper. So something that you might print a digital on or copy paper or like that. And I didn't have anything printed that was double-sided. So I got some of my lightweight cardstock out and I made these, and the first one I made was real bulky. So I figured out how to take the bulk out of them. I probably would not make these. They're just not me. So it's another one of those pockets that you have to like put down in a corner. I suppose you could clip it in. The way she makes them, there's an extra little tuck back here, about this size. So you could also do them as a clip in, especially if you're going to leave that tuck back there, because you want to be able to access that space. But yeah, this is not one of my favorite pockets, so I probably wouldn't make these. Tassels. Okay, this ranks up there with buttons. Now, I will admit, these are the same tassels I made in the video a year ago. Remember I told you, if I pre-make it, I very literally do not go back into my stash and get things out and use them. So here are the ones I made during the 100-day mass make. And if you go back and watch the video, the pink and red one is up in my box. I just didn't get it down to show you. But I love tassels. I think they're adorable. And I would make these. I actually would mass make them. I mean, I have tons of trims and ribbons and stuff. So I actually would sit and mass make these. And probably get out beads and stick beads on them and, the whole bit. Because I like them. I love them. I think they're great. I like adding this kind of stuff to journals. I think it's awesome. So, yeah, these would be a mass make. I would also, anything that I would mass make, I would also make as needed. So if I mass made something and I went through everything I had mass made and there was nothing to fit the project I was working on, I would just make one of whatever it was that I wanted to match my project. But having said that, I would mass make these. Okay. File folder pockets. Okay. Tina, I love you. This is a pouch pocket with a tab, except you cut the tab. I would not make them like this. If I was going to make a pouch pocket and I wanted to stick a tab on it, I would punch a tab and stick a tab on it. I would not cut it out of the book, out of the paper that I'm making the thing out of. See how that's cut out of this paper? Same with this one. Cut out of this paper. First of all, I was bad at it. Now, if you don't have any kind of tab punch and you don't want to make, you don't want to hand make, if you go back, there's also a video where she says no tab punch, no problem. And we made a bunch of tabs just folding little square pieces of paper in half and then like punching or cutting the corners out, and it made little tabs. So you can make tabs separately and just glue them to your pouch pocket. And that's probably what I would do. All of you people who are really good at cutting shapes, you amaze me, but I can't do it. So you guys go right ahead. I would punch them and I'll do it the lazy way because I couldn't do this. They're a mess. They're not the same on either side. They're a mess. The pouch pocket itself, I like. So I like these wide pockets. I would actually make these to stick like a booklet down in there and then clip the whole thing in as like a little journaling companion. So I like these. I like these little pouches. So I can see myself mass making the pouches out of base scrapbook paper or digitals or whatever, just making a base and then decorating it to go in a journal. But these ones I decorated, so I had fun with it. And they turned out really cute. I like them a lot. So, yeah, I would definitely mass make those. Okay, the next thing we did was torn strip clusters. And as you can see, I still have all of my torn strip clusters. Here's a few that we decorated. I don't know if we decorated that one on camera. All I really did was glue a leaf to it. I probably would add more to this. But there's lace on there. I don't even know if I made that one on camera. There's that one I decorated. This one that I just added. I think this was an example of what to do if you didn't want to run them through your sewing machine. Because I think stitching on these looks good. I like stitching on these strip clusters. So this was an alternative to stitching. Just like an alternative to stitching in the ruffles. This is an alternative to stitching on these. And then here's a whole bunch more that I made. I like these. I love this as a use of, what do you call it? Scraps. And these ones that are really long, I would cut off to fit whatever page. So this might still be 12 inches long. It is. So these are 12, this is a 12-inch strip. If I cut it down, I could still keep the other 3 inches as a short strip, or I can cut it into chunks or tear it into chunks and use it as the base of a cluster. So that's an idea for the ones that are too long. Just tear them off where you need them to be for whatever book you're putting them on, and then use the other end as bases for clusters. Here's another one that I stitched. It would be a lot harder to tear them off if you've got stitching in them, obviously. You'd have to cut it off and then whatever. But mask making, yes, because I get lots of cutoffs. So I could see myself sitting, I even get thin cutoffs. See that? So I could see myself sitting down and mask making these to, have, although, I mean, I have a ton of these. I put them in my belly band drawer because you could also glue these down and it could be a belly band. Now, stuff catches on these really thin edges, but I'm pretty sure you could make it work. Having said that, you could also just glue it up the middle of a belly band as a decoration. So if you created a belly band and then you glued this up the middle. Having said that, they've been hiding in my belly band drawer and I haven't used them. And I probably could have found a couple of them to go in the journals I just made, but I just don't think about it. I make what I make with the papers I'm using. But yes, I would mass make those. Okay, the next thing we made was these. These are wrap around a page belly bands. So you take a page and I don't have any pages. So if this was my book page, imagine it bigger. I would take it and I would wrap it around and I would have a belly band on this side and I would have a belly band on that side. Right? And they're made with file folder and you just layer lace scraps all over the top of it until you get it to where you like it. I think this is actually supposed to go this way. Until you get it to where you like it, and then you have yourself a belly band. Now, they don't open. I keep opening this, but you can see the lace hits and stands up because I decorated them like that. So, you want the scrappy bits hanging over, and these are supposed to look scrappy. I made 2. These were the only 2 I made. I think it's the 2 I made on video. I did not make these again. This would definitely be an as-needed project. And as needed could mean, don't get me wrong, as needed could mean that I go into my lace scraps and I say, this pile has gotten too high. I'm going to get some file folder strips and we're going to glue a bunch of layers down. That could absolutely be what as needed means. But I would probably make these as needed for a project. So that's what I would do with these. As a matter of fact, I might make another one because I like both of these. I might make another one for the thing we're going to do at the end of this. Can't remember if I told you what it was or not. I think I did. It's kind of like what I did at the end of my Roxy's Weekly Challenge thing. I put everything into a book. Going back and looking at that, I've decided that I probably should have just put in the book the things that I would actually make so that it could be an actual idea book. Okay, so as needed. Next. Oh, these are, okay, I'm going to show you 2 days at once. So this is that was day 67. These are days 68 and 69. And we're going to look at them together because they relate. I'm going to separate them. Okay, the first day, basically what we did was we took envelopes and we cut the end off, left them open. You glue them shut first. Like shut as in, you just glue the flap shut so that the middle will still open. And then you cut the top off. You cover the front with something, digitals, scrapbook paper, fabric. And then you make it a pocket. So it is a covered envelope as pocket. That's all that is. And then you save the ends that you cut off. Okay, and here's one that I decorated up. So it's got lace, and this is from my digitals, and this is from Tina's digitals, and, and it's a pocket. Okay, I like these. I don't know if I would mass make them. I would probably make these to match a project. I would also make them probably this large size because I would like to use them as like tip ends. That's how I would use them. I don't think I would glue this down to a page. Again, it's that whole, these ones maybe, these big ones maybe, because I think it would take up most of the page, and what you could do is glue it down and then glue it down as a pocket, so it would be kind of a double pocket on your page. So the big ones maybe. Okay, this is what the cutoffs look like, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, see, I was going to say I'm pretty sure I didn't glue them shut. So you have little versions, and you can keep them on their own like this, right? So I have 4 little ones. I think I decided what I was going to do was I was going to take these and put them on these, like this one on here, possibly. This one on here, possibly. This one on here, possibly. I don't know if I like that. These two I like. I like yellow and blue. Yellow and blue is always a winner for me. I guess I could do that and that. I don't know. Anyway, that was my thought with the cutoffs. Because the next day, we took smaller cutoffs and we made these. So on these ones, oh, and there's a music one. I covered that one with music paper. Now you got a lot of bulk on these, only because they're nice thick envelopes. And then right here, where I've layered them all up, you've got the back envelope, you've got the second layered envelope, and then you've got the third envelope. So there's like a really, but it's not bad. The top of this is open to be a pocket, and then here's a pocket, and here's a pocket. And then we did 2 like that. And this is calendar, in case you're wondering. And then some of them, I didn't glue the strip shut. So when you cut the strip off the end of the envelope, it's open. The way she was doing it was she was gluing these shut and just using it as a pocket. And that's what I did with these. I glued them shut and I put them down as just pockets. On these ones, I left them open and cut notches in them so that you could have a pocket and then a pocket behind it. And same with this one, a pocket and then a pocket behind it. Okay. And I think on this one, this pocket passes all the way through because this was a strip out of the middle of the envelope, or you can just cut the bottom off. And if you tuck it down in there, this passes through and this passes through. That makes sense? Go back and watch the video. Sorry, it's not supposed to be an explanation. Again, I would make these probably project specific. I do like them. I could also see myself getting tired of my scraps, my scrap pile, and looking at it and going, you know, I have a ton of envelopes. Let's just sit down and make a bunch of layered pockets. And these are the quickest, easiest envelope pockets. They are. They're easy. So this could be an either or. This could be a mass make or an as needed. Yeah. All right, our last one. This video went kind of quick. I don't think I glued any of these. I might not have. I don't think I did. Okay, so these are her clipped pockets. And if you go back and you watch how we made the jars, it's the same idea. So we clipped it. She clipped it with an envelope punch. Hers is on her punch board. Mine is detached and buried. So I have this guy. It cuts a notch and a corner, apparently, I guess. I don't know what that does. I've never actually stuck one in there. I think it rounds a corner. But you stick this in here and you just get it halfway. Like that. And I've marked my punch with the halfway point so that I basically stick it in there and I line the paper up until I get the paper to that halfway mark, and then I clip it. And it makes this little shape. That's also what she uses for her jars. I did not glue any of these shut, and I'm thinking that the reason is I want to put gussets in them or something so that it's not just a tight pocket. The other thing was I made the comment you could fold up the bottom and then just take the envelope punch and stick it on here so that your seam, your crease, is in the middle. And then clip it like that, and then just fold it. However you want to do it. And they make these tall pockets. If you make them narrow like this, I think they would make good belly bands with a little pocket on the front. And I think that would be cute. And I would probably clip both ends to do that. Like this one, I clipped both ends. This one, I clipped both ends because I think it looks kind of like a label or a ticket or something like that. So it makes a cute little ticket pocket. This one I decorated. If you clip both ends, though, you could make it a cute little belly band on your page, or you can glue it all the way over the side and make it a tuck. In which case, I might only clip this end and that end, but that's personal preference. Okay, so these, would I mass make them? No. I would probably make these as needed if I wanted like a belly band with an extra pocket in it. That would be what I would use these for, most likely. I do not think that I would mass make these. And this is for the same reason as the square pockets down in the corner. It's going to depend on what I want on the page. And these would be belly band style. So I would have to look where I wanted a belly band. And that's when I would make one of these to go. So that's probably an as needed project. I like them. I think they're cute. I like that a lot. I think that turned out really great. And I got my little, there's a tight pocket, but it's a pocket. I would probably also gusset them. Like the bottom is folded over. Oh no, that's covered because this is single-sided paper. I would probably, the bottom is folded up, I should say. So it's folded, so you get all that room down there. I might gusset these, or when I'm cutting them, cut them a little wider so that you can fold it around, because that's a narrow pocket. So you're going to be losing a lot of space in the gluing. All right, enough of my yammering. That's it for these ones. I feel like there isn't really anything to... I talked so much. I don't necessarily know that you guys want me to go through... I'm saving this one, by the way. I want to tell you, by the time you see this, I don't know if it'll be... if I'll have started it or what, but I want to make my daughter a journal for her to keep quotes and pictures and little souvenirs and stuff in from school and all that kind of thing. And this is her aesthetic, is this like neutrals. She likes browns and beiges and warm browns and warm beiges and warm, like those warm tan tones. So I'm going to make her a journal of that type, and I'm probably going to put this in it. So that's where this one's going. But anyway, all right. I hope you guys are enjoying the run through and it's giving you some useful information. I don't know if my opinions are the same as your opinions. Again, I say it all the time. It's what makes the crafting community is that we're all different. So I hope you will try some of these projects. See if maybe some of the ones I don't like you do like. And like that, and give them a shot. Go back and watch the videos to see how to make them and try a few of them and see what you think. And I'll talk to you guys with 71 through 80. So God bless and bye-bye.